story a couple of days ago where we had some instant on event. And then we had particles sticking out of it. Well, this picture I'm drawing here is just one specific microscopic realization of this in terms of very good flashes. You have some object which is not consistent by itself, it's not gauging variant if you wish, which is this instant thing. And then the only way to make it gauging variant to make it consistent is to have faces sticking out of it. Okay, so in the presence of flashes, there are lots of discrete symmetries that appear with the order of the discrete symmetry related to the amount of flash quanta that you're introducing. So let me skip that part and go to the sushi breaking story, which I think maybe is interesting. Okay, so I already mentioned that this is a nice interplay between flashes and difference in the sense that it provides a mechanism to break supersymmetry in a controlled way. So an appealing scenario is to consider a supersymmetric MSSM-like sector, like the one we constructed in earlier lectures, constructed with difference, and then to consider that there are some non-supersymmetric flashes which are passing by. And then understanding what's the effect of these flashes on the brains, and in particular how the non-supersymmetric flash impacts on the deep brains and how it transmits sushi breaking to this MSSM-like sector. Okay, so this can be computed very explicitly by doing the following. So we have these flashes. If they are imaginary set 1, we have the full 10-dimensional supergravity solution, okay, with all this metric and fluxes and dilaton and so on. Now what we can do is we can take the T-brain action for whatever brains you have, T7 brains or T3 brains, and you know that we can construct the Dirac or Inter plus the sinus action for the T-brain coupled to a general supergravity background. So we can couple this T-brain action to the supergravity background created by the flashes. Then we can do some expansion, power expansion in the flashes, and as you go further in the flashes, the brain throws in the flashes and you have a supersymmetric model. And as in order in the flashes, there will be some supersymmetric breaking effects. And you can read out what are the short terms out of this exercise. Okay, so what's the result of this exercise? It has been done explicitly. So we know what kind of short terms effect on this scenario. So imagine that the standard model is living on these three brains, and that they are immersed in some imaginary cell dual three flux background, just like that. So what's the effect of the flashes on the deep brains? Well, because the flux we are taking is imaginary cell dual, it behaves as a distribution of these three brains. So they have the flux carries the same tension and the same four-point charge as the T3 brain itself. And that means that there are many DPS-like cancellations. So the gravitational attraction between the flux density and the T3 brain is cancelled exactly against the Coulomb repulsion due to the change of the pole form. Okay. So gravitation like this T3 brain would like to fall in the places where the density, the flux density is larger, because these are gravitational wells. Okay, falls into a hole. But on the other hand, this is a place where there is more amon-amon charge, and the T3 brain is being repelled by this amon-amon charge. So it is repelled from the hole. So there is a cancellation again another, and then there are no short terms. Nothing happens. This T3 brain doesn't feel at all that there is any sushi breaking or whatever. It doesn't even feel the flux to be ignored. Now the story is different if you imagine that the standard model is located on anti-T3 brains. So anti-T3 brains by themselves, isolated from the rest of the world, preserve some supersymmetry. But when you introduce the flashes, the supersymmetries are not consistent with each other. So for anti-T3 brains, the effect of the gravitational attraction and the Coulomb interaction, they don't cancel but they allow. So basically the anti-T3 brains like to fall into the places where the flux density is higher. So they do something like that. Okay, so they see that place and they like to stay there. They don't like to move. It has an energetic pose to move them from there. So the fact that you get some energetic pose means that the scalars that correspond to the moduli for the T3 position actually have some scalar potential. Okay, so the anti-T3 moduli are stabilized by flashes. And you can read out what's the value of these scalar masses and these are soft terms. It would be like, if you think about these scalars as a square, it would be like the square mass. This is more or less the effect of soft terms of these anti-T3 brains. These are scalar masses, these are interior masses, and this is so-called trilinear coupling, which is the coefficient of a cubic coupling between different three scalars. That very supersymmetry is one of the typical soft terms that appear in the SSM, and which is important for electrosymmetry breaking, for instance. So it's only out of a density, which is the thing that places it. Yes?
And also, so the location of the anti-T3 brains is localized by the flashes, so there's also the possibility that these anti-T3 brains annihilate against the...
Yeah, yes, that depends on, yes, that's very good. That's also kind of related to the instances I was mentioning before, so the person flashes the static processes, which would be like some NS5 brain, which is tracking on some disciple or something, that can manipulate sets of anti-T3 brains. So it's a delicate question, and it depends on how many anti-T3 brains you have and so on and so forth. In general, well, there is a lot of controversy about this. So one point of view saying that if the number of anti-T3 brains is small, it would be an open total effect and there would be a tunneling barrier. That's one version. Another version of the story is that even though it looks like it's a non-perturbative effect at this level, the back reaction of the anti-T3 brain will start pulling flux towards itself, and then this will lower the barrier, and then the process will proceed in some unsuppressed way. And I'm not going to enter the debate and claim any position. It's a very technical thing. I have nothing to say about it. Just that there is a controversy about it. More questions? Yeah, let me just say that this is not my favorite example. I really like to be an anti-T3 brain to feel a kind of very unstable about the future. So my favorite example perhaps is to consider a T7 brain immersed in some imagination dual silicon flux. Okay? So in this kind of situation, again, the imagination dual silicon flux carries the same tension and four-point charge as a T3 brain. So maybe you may say that the interaction between T3 and T7 is sort of big like so there is a cancellation. But for flashes, the thing is a little bit more tricky. So you take the flux and you expand in this way as some form with one leg in the direction transverse to the T7 and two forms along the T7. Then these components of the flux have an impact on the things of the T7 brain. Okay, and you can expand some imagination dual flux into some two pole flashes that components that go around the 7th brain, which can be said to go around the 7th brain. They look like instantons or anti-instantons on the bottom of the 7th brain. So they behave in a way differently from these brains, in the sense that they can look like anti-instantons and have some specific breaking effect. So the outcome of the exercise that I'm not going to repeat is that you get non-trivial soft terms even if the flash is imagined in Z1. The supersymmetric features of the flash induce some supersymmetric mass terms for the D7 brain moduli, which are like new terms in the association, like H up, H down, H coefficient. So this is related to something that we mentioned before. In the FTL setup, we said that flashes can stabilize the 7 brain moduli. Okay, this happens in a supersymmetric way by the supersymmetric components of the flash. On the other hand, the supersymmetric breaking components of the flash, they introduce soft terms, and they turn out to be very similar to those that appear for anti-dissipation. So there are scalar masses that go, scalar masses, Vicino masses, and linear terms, all of them fixed by the scale of the flash. Okay? And you can recover all these results from different ways. In particular, instead of doing the supergravity analysis, you can get all those results from four-dimensional effective theory. The point is that the flash components are vacuum expectation values for the auxiliary fields in the moduli chiral multiplex. So they work as spurions. And that's a typical way of parameterizing physics breaking in many scenarios. You just take the X term of some chiral multiplex, and you put some vacuum expectation value for it, and then you read out what kind of soft terms you get from that. Okay. Yeah, so these are the flash components that correspond to the different auxiliary fields. Okay, so what does this breaking scenario look like? Is it like case mediation, gravity mediation, or what? Well, it looks like gravity mediation because basically the flashes are like F terms, so the highest component terms in the chiral multiplex of moduli, and moduli couple gravitationally. Okay, the farthest of the gravity in essence. Okay, the typical scale is this order of magnitude. The flash scale is half prime over R cube, because the flashes are dropping on 3 cycles. So translating to polydimensional quantities, they go like the quantification of the second scale squared divided by n plan. Okay, so you can take different choices of what you want to do. So if you like having models with low energy sushi, and this scale should be the TD scale, just like the standard low energy sushi, then the compactification scale should be something like 10 to 11 GeV. That's the intermediate scale. If you don't care about low energy sushi and you're happy with, I don't know, some sushi breaking scale at 10 to 10 GeV, and you say, well, the hierarchy, we don't care, then you can allow yourself to have compactification scales at other values, like clarification scale, which may be useful for the theory of politics. So it depends on your taste or what kind of phenomenology you want to do. Okay, and once you make these choices, you can make plots and make the phenomenologist happy. Okay, you can tell them, well, you will see this time, this became this cascade of supersymmetric particles, you will impress them very much. But you not impress you by ignorance on the topic. And then you move towards the end and finish it. So, about the cosmological story, I will, this is from some other, embarrassing, this is from some other set of lectures I was giving recently. Yeah, so let me just skip the discussion about applying these flashes to the Weiss models of axial monotony inflation. I already mentioned that a little bit in one of the other lectures, and you're free to ask me whenever you want to ask me. If you want to know more about this, I can give you good advice. Just to materialize the match. We'll have a nice workshop on applying the good gravity conjecture to different models of cosmology, inflation, cosmological relaxation models, and so on and so forth. It's a nice interplay of theoretical ideas related to what quantum gravity can tell us about interactions in a very broad sense, how to apply those criteria that distinguish the landscape from the Hamlet, how to apply it to many cosmological ideas which are in the Zeno monotheism market, and we just to check whether they pass the test of quantum gravity or not. Okay, so let me just conclude by saying that this is a general conclusion for the second lecture. So the first one, I think, it is amazing that something close to the standard model can be realized in the string theory. And this is something that cannot be overemphasized. Okay, it's something that we didn't ask the string theory to do. So string theory started in a very controversial one-side way, like trying to find some use for it. And eventually we realized that there was something like the graviton. So we thought, well, it's a theory of gravity. That's great. But eventually we realized that it indeed has the power of implementing something like the standard model did. So there is a compelling case that the standard model can be embedded in string theory, even though we don't know how to do that in full detail and predict electron mass or whatever. Still, there is room in string theory to accommodate the standard model. So brains, in particular D-brains, provide a very tractable way of doing standard model building in string theory. I don't claim that brains are more fundamental than heterotic compactifications. It's only that they are more tractable, and there are things that you can do explicitly, like introducing fluxes and so on. And although many of these things I've been telling you about are relatively old, like from the 2000s and so on. So there is continuous progress, and there has been progress in modular stabilization, in understanding non-perturbative structure, and things like descriptionism, which are very present and I like very much. So I expect that there will be continued progress, and I hope that there will be some very useful input, both from the cosmological side and from the experiment which is being run right here. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Other questions?
Thanks for the lecture. I have a private question, but I participated in one of your slides, the question under light Lavia. Later, under light Lavia, what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good question. So, under light Lavia, I mean that the dimensional supergravity background in the presence of the flashes can be expressed explicitly with everything except the Calabi-Yau metric. But the Calabi-Yau metric is something that, even though you cannot write down explicitly, you know many properties about. Okay, so the underlying Calabi-Yau means that everything in the supergravity solution is expressed in terms of some Calabi-Yau units, some specific quantum units. And this makes life easy, because when you want to wrap range, and you ask them what kind of cycles I can wrap them such that they are volume minimizing and they are stable, then you say, well, they are the same cycles that exist in the underlying Calabi-Yau. So they are holomorphic cycles and so on and so forth, so you can use for this algebraic geometry to characterization. So, just for comparison, if you go to type 2 A cycle, just to these flashes, the geometries are completely unrelated to a Calabi-Yau. They're not Calabi-Yau metrics. And then very often you don't even know where to wrap the range. Okay, so life is much harder. More questions?
If not, I believe this is the last lecture by Professor Warling, so let's thank him once more. Thank you for listening.
Welcome again to CERN. This might be the 10th or the 12th OTTC to the school affiliated to an RTN, planned by the European Union. Those RTNs have been over for a long time. But we decided to keep the school running because it's quite useful for many other people in different nodes of that particular RTN. Now, the schedule is quite informal. We are very grateful to let some of the speakers came from afar to present a number of exciting topics. There are very few obligations. One of us is not elected. Ask the questions. Give a hard time to the speakers. Apart from that, some of you have signed up for the visit to the Atlas team, which is walking the from here. I'm sorry that we cannot accommodate more than 60 people. So this is really fabulous. Some of you, of course, know where Atlas decided to go skiing. Now, we are praying for snow, but apparently God is not listening to our prayers because there was plenty of snow 2 weeks ago, but last week the temperature went up, and on top of that, the weekend had been raining cats at all. So it's not clear, maybe we'll have to cancel that particular trip. And finally, the banquet was very back after the Western sessions at 6 p.m., and the banquet will be on Thursday in the canteen. Now, normally, the canteen as well is quite busy, that's why the schedule had been extended in the morning until 1, because then you can just wander in the canteen, and it's relatively, well, not empty, but there's less of a solid number of people that happens around 12 and 12:15. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Stanford, who will tell us about chaos in quantum field theory and quantum physics.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the organizers for giving me the chance to come here and speak. It's very exciting to be at CERN, and the school looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to start out with a little appetizer, sort of a historical appetizer, before talking in more detail about what the lectures will be about. What I want to start out by discussing is where this idea for the connection between black holes and thermal systems got started. And, well, okay, I guess different people might have different opinions about this, but as far as I'm concerned, it started in 1972 with a paper by Jacob Bekenstein with an argument that must have seemed very strange at the time, that black holes have entropy. So his argument went like this. So here's a black hole. We'll, of course, talk about black holes in much more detail over the next few days, but for now, let's just say it's an object with an area that's given by 4 pi times r squared, where r is the Schwarzschild radius. Newton's constant has the mass. So here's a black hole. The thing that Bekenstein was worried about was what happens to the second law of thermodynamics if we have a black hole. We take some kind of entropic quantity and we throw it in. So it looks like the change in entropy of the universe outside the black hole might be negative. Because we took something with one entropy and threw it into the black hole, it's gone. Okay, so he was very upset about this, and the proposal which he made was that there should be some entropy assigned to the black hole. Yeah, okay, let's see. Okay, you guys can't read this? You can read it. But some people in front of you can. You have incredible vision. Okay, I will try to write a little bigger, but there's also more things down here, so I'm only going to feel partially responsible if those of you in the back can't see. Okay, so Bekenstein's idea was that there should be an entropy associated with the black hole, and that the change in the entropy when you do this will be positive, and will be sufficiently positive so that the total change in the entropy of the universe is positive. Okay, and in 1972, the area of the black hole horizon was a fashionable thing. Hawking had recently proven the area theorem, which says that the area of the event horizon is non-decreasing in general relativity. So Bekenstein proposed that the entropy should be equal to some number which we call eta times the area of the event horizon divided by q. So this is here to make up the dimensions. Okay, he didn't say what eta was, but he gave a little bit of an argument that something like this should work. The argument is based on a check of this idea that the quantity is positive. So how would we get into trouble? We would get into trouble here if we were able to throw something extremely light into the black hole. If we throw something very light into the black hole, it won't change very much. So the area won't increase very much, but we will also decrease the entropy of the surroundings. So even with this modification that the black hole has an entropy, we're still in danger. Throw something very light in that decreases the entropy of the outside. Okay, so we can test this. The lightest thing that we can throw in would be, let's say, a massless particle the size of the black hole. So that would have an energy which is like 1 divided by the radius. And if we throw in a particle like that, then we can decrease the entropy of the surroundings by, about 1 bit, roughly 1 bit of entropy. So we would like to see that we have increased this black hole entropy by about 1 bit. Okay, so we can work that out. Delta F is equal to eta times delta A over G Newton. Here I'm differentiating the R squared, and then we can plug in for R using this formula. So erase delta R and put delta M times G Newton times 2. Okay, and delta M here is 1 over R. So if we plug this 1 over R in, that will cancel this R. This G Newton will cancel that G Newton, and we'll be left with eta. Well, at this point I should not put a equals, I should put a squiggly. This squiggly is left squiggly. Eta times 16 pi. So indeed we see that the change in entropy using this formula will be order 1. So as long as this quantity eta isn't too small, it looks like we're in good shape. So Einstein did not, using this argument, he wasn't able to determine the actual value of eta, but there have been later arguments, very beautiful work by Horace C and Aaron Wall, where they're trying to prove that no matter what you do, the total of the entropy outside and this black hole entropy will not decrease. And using the monotonicity of the relative entropy and some beautiful arguments, they're actually able to show that this will be true, provided that eta is greater than or equal to 1/4. So it's amazing that by thinking carefully about this original sort of pre-argument that I can see, you can actually get the numerical coefficient. Okay, so that's 1972. The next thing I want to discuss is in 1974. This was the year where Hawking made his calculation of the black hole temperature, which is 1 over 4 pi times R. I'm not going to discuss this in very much detail, although later we'll be able to see how you can derive the temperature of a black hole. But you can use that to get this coefficient by using the first law of thermodynamics, Gm equals Gdf. Actually, we can just use this formula here. Here we've worked out Df in terms of Gm. So Gm is equal to, I'll put in 1 over 4 pi R for the temperature. And then we plug in this formula for Gf. Eta times 16 pi times Gm. Okay. And if we cancel the 16 pi and the 4 pi, we find that eta has to be equal to 1/4. So this completes the derivation of the black hole entropy, and this was the moment where the actual coefficient was determined. Although people had thought very hard about it, they could have determined it earlier. Well, they could have determined this inequality earlier. Okay, so this sort of started a very long and beautiful relationship between black holes and thermal systems. I'm going to skip over most of it. In particular, I'm going to skip about 20 years, which included the story about the membrane paradigm, and actually included a third derivation of the black hole entropy using gravitational path intervals. I'm going to skip ahead to ADS-CFT, because this really changed the way people thought about this. Before, the idea was somehow that black holes and thermal systems had some somewhat vague relationship. You could think of a black hole as a thermal system in some cases, and that was a little bit helpful for thinking about black holes. ADS-CFT turned this around because this was a precise identification between black holes in certain systems and particular strongly interacting large N quantum field theories, which are difficult to analyze. And now the flow started going the other way, where you could do a calculation using a black hole and learn something about a very difficult problem, which is strongly interacting field theory. So for example, here actually, this thing that we've done already, this tells you, using ADS-CFT, it tells you about the entropy that you have in a strongly interacting quantum field theory with many degrees of freedom, which would have otherwise been an impossibly difficult problem to analyze. Okay, this is only a part of an eraser. I mean, it's 2/3, so that's... There's another one where? Oh, thank you. Okay, let me... I guess I don't need to erase it anyhow. But it's good to know that I have that power. Okay, so that's the end of the historical introduction. What I'm going to be talking about in these lectures is real-time dynamics on both sides here. Real-time dynamics in thermal systems and how we can use black holes to answer dynamical questions. So things like the entropy and equilibrium properties are very interesting, but there's a whole world of difficult to analyze problems in quantum systems with high temperature having to do with dynamics. And I'm going to be interested in two types of things: thermalization and chaos. There's another aspect to real-time dynamics which has to do with transport. And I'm not sure if Sean Hartnell's going to talk about this. Historically, at certain lectures, he has talked about transport. So I'm not going to talk about it. But so in the lecture today, what I'm going to do is give a little bit of an overview of what we know about thermalization and chaos in thermal systems without using black holes. And then in the second part of the lectures, I'll show how to calculate aspects of thermalization and chaos using black holes. And then actually for the third part, I haven't completely decided yet about whether I'm going to talk about a bound on chaos, which was originally inspired by thinking about black holes, but it's just a statement about quantum systems, or whether I'm going to talk about what I view as sort of a third potential offset in this connection between black holes and thermal systems, which is this amazing model that Kitaev has developed, which is an exactly solvable, strongly interacting quantum system, which is probably dual to a black hole. And this thing has the potential to start the arrows pointing the other way again, where we use properties of thermal systems to understand black holes. I find extremely exciting. So that might be something that I talk about for the end. Okay, but under thermalization, there's actually two topics that I'm going to discuss, which is the behavior of Stefan functions and relaxation near equilibrium, and also quantum. Okay, so this is the plan. Before I start, let me just see if anybody has any questions about the plan, or what the words mean, or why we're doing this, or anything like that. Oh, actually, I should ask you guys some questions, because I'm super about you. One question that